Hello, everybody. This is the haircut. It has been a long and somewhat disappointing day. I'm not going to go into it because you can probably tell. Okay, we look at the bags. Okay, it's been a long day. I'm literally look at this. This is not sponsored by Iron Brew, by the way. If only, hey Iron Brew, get in contact with me, bro. We'll make a comic book together. This is I got work to do, to be very honest. So I wanted to catch up, tell everybody what's going on. So as always, we are still working on the manga competition, the Clip Studio manga competition, and it is underway. We've got the first couple of pages started to be inked. Everything looking good. I'm quite happy with the way it's working. The inking is it's quite nice, to be very honest with you. The difference is it's improved. So the last thing I did was I guess a little while ago. But things have improved, if you know what I mean. Like the storytelling, the art, the inking, the precision, it's all improved, which is absolutely amazing to see progress in a way. So I mean, a couple of things that I guess I would encourage you to do. One, if you're having a terrible day and you need to just call it quits sometimes, take the break that you need. Okay, I'm going to be doing that. I'm only going to be working for a little bit, and I'm going to take a break because it's again been a long day. Next thing I would say is don't I suppose don't rely on being able to just power through, mostly because it makes your work worse. And lastly, I would say make sure that you look back at your previous works so that you can see your progression. If anything, that will cheer you up. Because no matter what you're doing, if you continue to practice art, and if you stop for a while, yeah, fair enough, then you will notice that maybe things are not going as well as you thought they would be going. But if you put the effort in and practice, and this is the worst thing for artists, and this is nothing new. You've heard this before, but the worst thing for artists is that you look at your work and you will notice all the flaws. That's just what happens. When you look back at works that you did previously, you will notice even more flaws than you did at the time of making it. And that's because you're comparing it to the new things that you have made. And the fact is, the new things that you made, this is based on the idea that you're continuing to progress and continuing to practice, will always be better. The next best thing is what you're working on. I don't have a favorite piece of art of myself because I always work on the next best thing. And that's what you need to be doing. You need to be encouraging yourself, but you need to make sure that by looking back at the stuff, you will notice areas that you need to work on those, and then push through to get better. And that's the only thing you can do as an artist, as anyone really. If you're trying to get better at anything, I've just got guitars behind me. If you're playing music, playing guitar, for example, you gotta remember that last week you couldn't play a certain tune. Now you can. Last week you couldn't do, I don't know, you couldn't bar hold, for example, but now you can. So do take your time, think about your progress because it is always motivating. And I will say, well, I mean, a couple of things have happened obviously this week. One thing that I will mention about it is Warwick is no longer available. It's not longer on Kickstarter, um, which is a shame. But the reasons were there, and it's completely valid why it was brought down. Uh, and I completely understand it, but it's disappointing. I mean, that's the truth. It is disappointing, but I understand it. But Joe, who wrote Warwick, since then has improved massively for his writing, and he's writing about stuff that means something to him and it's important, and it makes a huge difference to him because it allows him to get out of his emotions and allows him to put all that on page. But even he's going to take a little bit of a break and do some work by himself, fulfill that need that he has to write before he does anything else like a Kickstarter. If he ever does a Kickstarter, it's just about noticing the fact. If he looked back at Warwick, for example, and moved on, and looked back at the thing that he has just written, you'll notice that there's a massive difference in the impact and the delivery and even the pacing. There's loads and loads of um, I suppose, improvements. And that's true of any writer, any artist, anybody who's doing something creative, or even if you're not doing something creative, you'll notice that you will work, for example, in a banking job. You'll get better at talking to customers. You'll get better at working through databases and whatnot. There's loads you can improve on. It's just about noticing that, and if anything, it's good for your mental well-being to notice that. Anyway, that was it. I just wanted to, I guess, get a little bit off and to talk to you guys before I do a little bit, and I guess I'll catch you at the next one. Thanks again.